Welcome to Marketing and Mindset for Wellness Coaches, the podcast for health coaches and wellness entrepreneurs just like you who are building a business, making the world a healthier place, and designing a first-class life. I'm your host, Kim Foster, MD and certified business coach, and I'm on a mission to help you up-level your strategy and raise your mindset so you can truly thrive and grow your business. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode. You are listening to episode number 61 of the Marketing and Mindset for Wellness Coaches podcast. And today, let's address the question of what is the best health coach certification out there for you to take? This is a question that I get all the time. So I thought it would be a perfect topic for this podcast. I know that many of my listeners have already done some coach training, but others are still in the thinking about it stage where they're exploring the possibilities of this career. So whatever is true for you, whether you are searching for the right training and certification program to take, or whether you have already done some kind of training and maybe you're wondering if there's something more that you should do to take your skills to the next level. You're definitely going to want to stay tuned to this episode either way because I'm going to talk about all of these elements in detail. This episode is all about how to make the best decision for you when it comes to choosing a health or wellness coaching certification. So if you're new to me, then welcome. My name is Kim Foster and I'm a business mentor for health and wellness coaches. And as you may realize from the intro to this podcast, I'm also an MD. I am a family doctor turned coach, and I have been functioning in the health and wellness world for over 2 decades from both sides of this industry, the healthcare world and the wellness and coaching world. And the reason that I mention this is to explain why you might want to take my advice on this topic. The point is, I have been immersed in health and wellness for my entire professional career, really my entire adult life. And so I do feel confident in claiming some authority when it comes to this industry. I have also seen the inside of most of the big training programs that are out there. Either I took them myself as I was moving out of medicine and into coaching, or I test drove them as I was building my own training program, or perhaps the biggest source of intel that I have on this is my own clients who are coaches themselves. I have been working for several years as a business coach and mentor, and I have had many in-depth conversations with people about the training that they received, what they liked about the program that they took, what they felt was missing. I have heard it all, and I've had private clients from pretty much all of the major training programs out there, so I have an intimate knowledge of what each program contains and doesn't contain. So I'm sharing all this with you so you understand where I'm coming from and how I have gathered my data on this topic. So the question is, which training and certification program is the best? And this is not an easy question to answer. Unfortunately, there isn't a simple answer because it's like the question, which is the best pair of shoes to buy? Because of course it depends. What's the weather like? How formal is the event you're going to? What's your style? What are your needs? Depending on the answers to those questions, it could be a pair of hunter rain boots, or it could be a pair of ballet flats, or a pair of cute suede booties with a stacked heel. So rather than call out one program as being the best one, I'm going to walk you through a process for how to choose the right program for you, because that's what matters here. In full disclosure, because I do have my own training and certification program, I am biased and I do happen to feel that my program is the best. However, I also recognize that it may not be right for you. My program is not actually for everyone, and I did not design it that way. So this episode is definitely not going to be me selling you on my program, but instead it's about helping you to decide which program is the best one for you. So let's get into that. Now, there are a lot of different factors that come into play. I'm going to walk you through the things that are helpful for you to keep in mind when it does come time to pick a health coach certification. And I want you to start by thinking about why you are interested in becoming a health or wellness coach. What do you want to help people with? What's motivating you to want to get into coaching? Tapping into your why is going to help in terms of figuring out what kind of training you want to do. Then I want you to consider what knowledge or skills do you already have. Now, some people come from a healthcare background, but for other people, this is a total career shift, which I love, actually. I'm all about that. And even if you are a health practitioner, you may already have a bunch of knowledge in one area, but you feel like there are certain pieces that are missing. Most often, I hear healthcare practitioners talk about how they don't really know what they need to know around the coaching piece. Like, how do you know how to actually coach somebody on their health and wellness? So I want you to ask yourself, what do I already know? And what are the gaps in my knowledge base or skill set that I want to fill? And then from there, of course, you're going to look for a training that is specific to those gaps. So what do you want to help people with? And what are the missing pieces that you need to learn more about to be really effective at helping those people reach their particular goals? So then it's important to know that there are different programs out there that focus on different areas of specialization. So who do you want to work with? Is it women? Is it men? Is it both? Is it all about nutrition for you or weight loss? Or are you feeling more called to a holistic approach or even more of an emotional, psychological, and health coaching approach? Take a look at what the programs you're considering, what do they focus on? What is their area of expertise? What is their philosophy around health and wellness? The next thing to consider is the length of the program. You know, there are programs that are all different lengths. So is it a few weeks? Is it 6 months? Is it a year or maybe even a few years? Also, is it entirely online or is there a required in-person element or things like that? I want you to think about all those things and find what would be a best fit for you. Everyone has different needs, so take those things into consideration. You want to keep all of these things in mind as far as making your choice and really, again, what is going to be the best fit for you and your lifestyle. From there, I want you to give some thought to the kind of experience that you want to have personally during your training. And this is important. I know there are some programs that talk about how big they are, like they're the biggest program and they have hundreds or even thousands of students and things like that. So you need to ask yourself if that is actually important to you. And it may be. You may feel comfortable with the idea of a very big program and just kind of want the biggest school with the largest number of students. Or the experience you may actually want is a smaller, like a more intimate or more of a boutique program. Of course, that's actually the kind of program that mine is. It's a high-touch boutique and intimate program, which is what I love personally. But I do, of course, recognize that this is not for everyone. So you need to figure out for yourself ahead of time, what kind of experience do you want to have through your training? The next issue to look at is how much business training is included. And I have to say, this was really important to me to include a robust training in business and business training as part of my program, because I can't tell you how many coaches I have talked to who went to one of the big popular programs who came out of it without the first idea of how to build a business. Sure, they could definitely list off a bunch of nutrition theories, but they had no idea what to actually do with that knowledge. They didn't have anything that resembled an actual program or a method of working with clients, and they definitely did not have any clue of how to start marketing themselves beyond just a cookie cutter website and some very vague suggestions of going out there and posting on social media, which, to be honest, is some pretty bad advice in my opinion. So I want you to take a hard look at how well this program is going to actually prepare you for the entrepreneurship side of things. The final thing to consider, of course, is the cost. Although it's super important to not think of the tuition as a cost, like just an expense, but as an investment, because that is what it is. any career you might pursue will require training. And just like you wouldn't expect to go to law school without paying for that education, you are going to need to invest in your education and training as a health and wellness coach. It really is a unique skill set that you need to learn. And that is going to require an investment. And what this is actually is an investment in yourself. So my recommendation here is to please not just look for the cheapest program out there. Please don't allow the price of a program to entirely dictate which one you go with. As much as you can, try to choose the program that is the best fit for you, not the one that's the most affordable for you right now. Because the idea here is that you're going to receive a return on that investment. That's the whole point, right? And a program that is a bad fit for you, is that one going to empower you to go out and build a fabulous career that pays for itself quickly? Because I have to tell you, I have talked to many coaches who admitted that they simply went with the cheapest program that they could find and then ended up regretting it because they knew they got a subpar training and they really weren't equipped to then go out and be a confident, masterful coach and entrepreneur. So it's a false economy. You may think that you're saving money, but your short-term savings may end up being a long-term loss in terms of time and opportunity. And you may need to go back and do more training, which will mean even more investment in the long run. It's like buying cheap socks. It's a false economy. They won't feel good on your feet and you're going to get holes in them almost immediately, which means you'll have to go out and get more socks. This is what my husband and I talk about. It's our shorthand and little inside joke for when we feel tempted to skimp on something and we kind of know it's not a good idea. He says to me, Kim, are you buying cheap socks with this? So now, to be clear, I don't think that everything in life requires the most expensive or highest quality that you can find. You know, I love a bargain as much as anyone. And for some stuff, I like getting the cheaper or like the disposable thing. Something I don't buy the most expensive of is home furnishings. I have got 2 boys. No way am I going to buy a $10,000 sofa when I know for sure that within the first 48 hours, they'll have spilled something on it. So it's fine. I don't need the most expensive or the fanciest. Now, for you, that may actually be a priority, or maybe you're at a different life stage. Anyway, I'm not worried about getting the top of the line furniture and stuff for my house. The point is that there are some things that it's totally okay to kind of skimp on. Education is not one of those things. Getting trained for a new career is not one of those things. Okay, enough said on that. I hope that it makes sense. All right, I hope that I have given you a few things to consider when choosing the perfect health or wellness coach training program for you. So just to recap, here are the things to consider when you're trying to choose the right training program for you. What do you want to do? As in, what is your big why for pursuing a career in coaching? Next, what knowledge and skills do you already have and what gaps do you need to fill, and which program is going to best fill those particular gaps? Next, what do you want to specialize and focus on, and does this program specialize in that area? Next, consider how long is the program and also what kind of experience will you have, specifically like a big program or a boutique style, an online learning experience, an in-person experience, all of those factors. You also want to take a really good look at how much business training is included, because that's very important. And then finally, consider the tuition and the factors around the investment. So I'm hoping that all those issues will help you to make a really informed decision on the best program for you. And I know that there are a lot of things to consider, but this is an important decision, and it doesn't make sense to go with whatever program seems the most obvious or the most popular, because it just may not be the right one for you. And incidentally, if you are curious about the details of my own training and certification program inside the Wellness Coach Academy, then I invite you to download my Wellness Coaching Career Guide, which gives you all the details and everything you need to know to decide if this particular training program is for you or not. I'll put the link in the show notes, but you can also just head to drkimfoster.com/career guide. to download it for free. And again, as I said, my program is actually not for everybody, but if it is right for you and the things that I say and stand for really resonate, and you would love for me to teach you everything I know about how to be a masterful wellness coach and a successful entrepreneur, then I would love to have you inside our program, which is enrolling right now for the May and September classes. Again, all that info is inside my career guide, so head over and grab that now. So I hope that you found this episode helpful. I would love to hear from you. Let me know which coach training programs you're thinking about doing, what questions you have about them. Take a screenshot as you're listening to this episode and then post it in your Instagram stories and just go ahead and tag me so that we can have a conversation. I'm so excited for you to dive into health and wellness coaching. I happen to believe it's the best career out there, and I'm really excited for you to get started on your journey. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will talk to you again next week. Thanks so much for listening. If you are ready to build a coaching business that gives you freedom and flexibility and allows you to make a meaningful impact in the world, but you're not really sure how to get started or what you need to do to attract the perfect clients and grow your income, then let me be your coach. I would love to teach you my exact framework, my proven method for how I created a freedom-based business for myself and how I've helped dozens of clients do the same thing and create a life that is better than their dreams. Get started by heading over to drkimfoster.com/business training, and there you can sign up for my free online training called The 4-Part Formula for Replacing Your 9-to-5 Income with a Coaching Business You Love.